We are here to remember and celebrate actually the launching of the collection of my late father-in-law. And the most important thing, what I would like to talk about is what this means successful, what this means successful man to be. And I don't want to take so long from your time, but I would like to explain and to present some of the history of this man, Mr. Abdul Razak. I know him as a father, I know him as a mentor, and I learned a lot from his history. And this guy, he came really from nowhere. He's an immigrant, and he came from Saudi Arabia with a good family, but no money. And he started from zero. And if any one of you guys thinks that you have to have money to start, this is wrong, because he started really from zero. And he became actually one of the most successful people and finance people in Malaysia. And he's very well known worldwide actually for the role what he has done in the stock exchange in Malaysia. He was one of the founders of the stock exchange in Malaysia. And after him came a lot of generations. They actually recognize the job, what he has done. And Mr. Abdul Razak, he left us with a lot of memories, a lot of know-how. I learned a lot from him. And that's why I said I have to share this with you guys to understand what successful means, what successful person is supposed to be. And the same history of Mr. Razak, actually, I shared with him. And I came also from normal family, from a middle-class family in Egypt. I was born in Egypt. And I went to Austria when I was 18, 19. I studied German language. I didn't speak German before. I studied German language. I complete my study. I went back and forth from Cairo to Austria. I finished my degree in accounting and economy in Cairo University. I went back to Austria. I finished my master's degree. And after that, I started to work. And I went to, when I was 42, I started again to learn. I went to Harvard Business School. I finished 3 years of executive program at the Harvard Business School. And still going to school every single year for programs at the Harvard Business School. And I still learning, and I still writing my PhD, and I will learn until I die. This is what you have to do. And being successful doesn't mean really that you need money for it. You need to have determination, you need to have a goal, and you need to articulate your goal, and you have to take it step by step. You will never get anything one time. You have to get it really step by step. And the most important thing is you have to articulate it. Articulate it means you have to write it down. I will do that on that time, on that year, on that day. And you have to be very serious about it. If you are not serious about it, nobody will be serious about it. It's you. You look at yourself and try to do it by yourself. Nobody will help you. You will help yourself. That's it. If you respect yourself and you help yourself, everyone will respect you and will help you. And this is very important for all young people. I have to say, you don't need anyone's help. Help you first. This is the most important thing. So I share my experience with you guys, and I hope all of you just work and work and work and try to be exact in your job. Determined. I need to do that. I have to do it. So, and I hope all of you will be okay. You are all of you young people, and I believe Malaysia is a good place actually to grow up. And it's very important as well that you have to have a lot of tolerance and you grow up with a lot of culture. You have the benefits here to be Malaysian, sad to Malaysia. You have many races and many cultures, and it's very important to tolerate each other, and it's very important to have a freedom of thought, a freedom of education, and very important, don't put your education or your thought in any boundary. Just let your brains to think freely. Then you can have innovation. If you innovate, then you can have a success. Without innovation, no success. Nothing will be done. So, and I wish you all the best, guys, and I hope you will be actually the next generation. And I see that you have a beautiful university, and you have a beautiful lecturers here. And I thank Ton Zeki that he brought us here, and we have the honor actually to try to do something for you guys, and we hope we will do it for them. So, anyone wants to ask anything? No questions?
Yes, I think we do have some questions from the floor.
How did you get into your paper business?
How did I get to my paper business? Oh, it was my second job. So I used to be in the tuna fish industry.
Tuna fish?
Tuna fish.
Oh.
I used to go to Oman. They sent me from Vienna to Oman to be with the fishermen to see how they fish the tuna. And it was an eco tuna. It means by hawks, one by one. And then it goes to Salerno, to Italy. I go with that to Italy, and then stay in Italy for a couple of weeks, and then they will make it in the cans, and they will make it in a factory, and then they will send it back to Europe. And then the Gulf War, the first Gulf War broke out, and then they kicked me out. There was no more job. So I went back to Vienna, and that was my job actually in a bank. They're called Kreditanstalt, and they put me in a trading company because I spoke 4 languages at that time. And they told me, okay, you start the paper business. And then I have been in the paper business 3 years, and I went to Cyprus. I opened the office in Cyprus, and then after that I moved to Dubai, 1994, 95, and then I started my own business. And today we are invoicing to almost 32 countries worldwide. We are doing over 450,000 metric tons of paper, worth of 220 million US dollars.
Capital? How do you start with the capital?
Oh, start with the capital. The only money what I had, it was about $50,000. I saved it actually when I was Cyprus. I was traveling all the time, and I was getting my salary. I just saved it, and I started my business actually $50,000. And I lost everything in 1996 when the price dropped, and I got $10,000 from my father to start again. And I started again. So I drop, get up, drop, get up. And every time you drop, you get up, but you will not get actually from 0, you will get from 1. You will start from 1, and then you drop again. You will drop to 1, and then you will come to the second stage, and then you will drop to the second stage, you get to the third stage. And every time you drop, you get higher and higher until you get actually in a stage where you are comfortable. So, and I think today we are comfortable. Alhamdulillah.
So a loss does not mean the end of the world for you?
No. I was working when I was student, guys like you. I was working everything. I was selling newspaper on the street. I was selling flowers. I was working as a waiter in a discotheque in the weekend and in Sunday. I was cleaning actually the library of the university, I told you. I was cleaning windows outside, minus 15 degree outside. I was cleaning windows. So, and I'm happy to do it again if I have to. I have no problem with that. So I'm ready to do anything. The most important thing, guys, you have to understand the happiness, it comes from satisfaction. If you are satisfied what you are doing, what you have, you are happy. It doesn't matter how much you have. It matters actually if you are satisfied or not. And if you are satisfied, you are happy. If you have billions, 6 billions, 2.7 billions, it doesn't matter. But you are not happy because you are not satisfied.
Yeah, you're not happy because you're owing 3 billion or
Yes.
4 billion. You're not happy.
Exactly. You have to be really happy. This is the most important thing. Just be satisfied with what you have and try to get the best out of it. Then you will be happy. So, any other questions?
I have one question.
Please.
What is the one advice that Sheikh Abdul Razak has passed on to you? The most memorable one that you can share with us?
Determination. If you want to do something, you have to do it. And this man, he was 80 years old and he started to think about building a hospital. And all of us, we have been really against that. And we said, well, what you do with that? You're old, you don't need it. And they said, no, I want to do it. And he did not want to pay any under-table money. He did not want to use any people he knows. He said, no, I have to go according to the law, according to the rules of the countries. And he did it. And Kamel, the son now, he is taking care of it. And he is continuing actually the project of the hospital. And that was really something everyone has to stand and look at it and say, why, what the guy is doing? Everyone said, even Tazaki said, what the guy is doing? But actually, he was very determined to do something, and he was very determined to make it happen. And then Kamel continued actually the path of his father, and he is doing it, and I think he will finish it. So this is the most important thing. I got it from this man. Yes. So any other questions?
Yes.
Yes, one question. What is your challenge in life and how you face it?
Again?
Challenge. What is your challenger in life and how you face it?
Oh, challenge.
Challenge.
Oh, I had so many challenges in life. As I said, I have been so many times down, and I have been so many times up. So the challenge, actually, you get it not only one time. Every day you wake up in the morning, you get a challenge. And every day you wake up in the morning, you have hopes. And the most important thing is you have to think positive. If you think positive, then you will solve all your problems and all your challenges. There is no challenge. You challenge yourself. If you look at everything positive, I believe you will be very energetic. You will be very happy to solve it. But challenges, you will have it every single day. As long as you are breathing, you have a challenge.
Okay, thank you. We have another question?
What is the biggest risk that you have taken?
The biggest risk. Oh, the biggest risk what I have taken, actually, I would say when I started my own business, and I was earning a good money. I was in Cyprus, and at that time I told my father I will resign, and then I will start my own business. And then my father said, "Come on, you're getting good money. Nobody is getting this money." And then I said, "No. I would like to start my own business." So, and that was actually the biggest risk I have taken, and it worked out very, very well. The second time is when I got married. I knew my wife only for 3 days, and I proposed to my wife and I got married. So that was the second time I got really a very risky decision.
Getting married was a big decision only.
That was the most risky one, but it was more than my business because that's my life. But it was a very good one. So thanks God. So any other questions? Yep. I cannot hear you.
One moment,
Can
we
you?
have the mic over to
I'm too old to hear you.
Good morning, sir. I want to know what innovate you to start your own business, since it's so risky.
Oh, this is a very good question. Actually, why I did start my own business, I was not happy actually with my boss. And I decided I was living in Cyprus, and I was not happy with my boss. And actually, the most important thing I have to say, he wanted me to ship the company, to go against actually my principles and what I believe, my integrity, and I could not. And I said no, I won't do it. And my company just had been taken over by an American company, and they couldn't change anything. And then I said, no, I won't go actually against what I believe. And this is very important thing actually, to have integrity. This is very, very important. And you have a principle and values. If you do have that, believe me, you have to be successful. Because this is actually the things what will push you to make everything right. And if you make everything right, you are successful, believe me. And the challenge, you will see it every day. When you do the right thing, you have all the time people, they are trying to destroy you, trying to get you down. But if you do the right thing, you will just go straight. Nobody actually can stop you. And this is exactly what happened to me. So I went, I started my own business, and I got it done. And I got it very right. So that's what we are doing. And the most important thing, you have to think all the time, when you want to start your own business, what should I do different? Don't start the same thing what your neighbor is doing, or what your auntie, your friends is doing. You have to be different. You have to differentiate yourself, and you have to create something new. If you create something new, then this is innovation. If you create value for yourself, and you create value for the society where you come from. And you have to give back to this society. And this, everything, it's related to each other. It's a cycle. If you have the principle, you have the integrity, then you get successful, then you give back to the society. It's everything, it's one cycle. So, and this is very important, to start with values and integrity. This is very, very important. Don't forget it. And even if you are so young, there is no joke about values. If you have the values, you have it. If you don't have it, you cannot learn the values when you are 30. It's gone already. In your age, this is the best age, guys, to learn and to absorb all the good values and the integrity. And this is very important for any religion, for anyone who is thinking, either you are Muslim, Christ, Buddhist, Hindu, whatever, communist, doesn't matter. But the most important thing, you have to believe in something, and you have to believe in values. This is very, very important.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Hesham.
Welcome.
Any more
Any more
questions from the
questions?
floor? Oh, yeah.
Actually, just now I was about to ask a question about innovation.
Yes.
The thing that you shared with me before this session.
Yes,
Can you share, please, with us?
in
Innovation.
innovation. About what exactly?
So,
Because,
to be exact about your PhD just now. you
okay,
mentioned.
about my PhD, okay. My PhD, actually, it's about innovation, it's a macroeconomy, it's about actually the role and the game change, the power change through innovation in the world economy. And I'm talking about how the power and the game can be changed through the innovation. And I started from the very beginning, from the Pharaoh's time, and how this innovation has been transferred from civilization to the others, from the Pharaohs to the Greek, Byzantines, to Roman, to the Muslim, to the modern civilization, the European civilization. And it's very important actually to understand the history of the innovation and to get actually where we are today. You have to understand your history and your roots to understand where you are and where you are going to. And it's very, very actually important for us to know where are we going. And where are we going? Today we have the American Empire. Yesterday we had Portuguese and the British Empire. The day before yesterday we have the Islamic Empire. So, and all those civilizations actually be based on innovations. And if we look at the history, we have seen how even, it's a very interesting thing if we are talking about the Chinese innovation, why the Chinese, they didn't get out of China, and why the Muslims, they actually conquered the whole world. It's a very interesting issue about the innovation of the Chinese civilization and the innovation of the Mediterranean civilization. It's a very, very interesting. They share the innovation everywhere in the Mediterranean area and in Europe, but the Chinese, actually, when they innovate a lot, but it stayed all the time in China, and every time the dynasty which came after the others, they demolished actually what the other dynasty did. And that was one of the most important things why we talk about the European, the Islamic civilization, but we don't talk about the Chinese civilization and the influence of Chinese civilization and the innovation for the whole world. That was a very important issue. So about my PhD, again, I'm talking about the superpower and the differentiation between revolutionary innovation or the evolutionary innovation, management innovation, technological innovation. When you hear the word innovation, you immediately think about iPhone, you think about iPad, you think about any technological issue. But what I believe is innovation. Every one of you guys, you are innovative. Everyone, when you have a different idea, this is innovation. Any new idea, whatever you make it you, and you create value, a commercial value out of it, this is an innovation. Even if you don't have a commercial value, if you have a spiritual value, and you change someone, this is an innovation. So all of us, all of you are innovative, all of you. Because as soon as you start to think, you think new ideas. When you think new ideas, you innovate something. So this is actually all about my innovation issue, and the last chapter in my PhD, I'm talking about the liberal education, which is very, very important, and the liberal thought. Be free to think, be free to speak, but not now. It's not so easy. But in the future, be free to speak and to express your opinion. It's very, very important. And I was just talking to the professor. I told him why we see everywhere a white man, he's leading actually the herd. Why we don't see Asian people actually the president of this company or that company? Why we have all the time to get a white guy to do it? Yeah. Even the Asian guys, they are more educated, they have more professional experience. The only thing is, this white guy has a better upbringing, more free to think, a street smart. An Asian man or Asian person, he stayed with his mother and his father until he's 30 years old. In China, 50% of the people, they go for an interview, they go with their parents for their interview, and they are 26, 28 years old. Yes, this is true. It's shocking, but it's true. So in Europe, it's not. You leave your house when you are 18, 19 years old, and you start your own life. And this experience, the free thought, makes actually a lot of difference. And the very important thing, what I really like to show it in my PhD, there is no culture, no society has actually a boundary of, I would say, traditional, religious, hierarchical, can be innovative. Even if we look at the history in the 15th century, and that was actually the golden age of Islam, the golden age of the Judaism and the Jewish in the Islamic civilization, and also in the 15th century that was a golden age of the Tang Song dynasty. Actually, those time that was a freedom of speech, that was a freedom of press, that was freedom of everything. The people, the philosophical, the Muslim philosophical, they were talking about God, why God did that, why God didn't do that. And actually, if you talk about it today, they will say, oh, you are kafir, this is haram, you cannot talk about it. But in the 15th century, they did talk about it, and it was very clear. This is very important to think, very open. Let your brains actually to be open and to think liberal, and then you will come to the right decision and to the right issues. But unfortunately, if you keep that in a boundary and you put it in a black box, and you are not allowed to say that, you are not allowed to do that, you are not, you cannot be innovative. You cannot be actually a leader. A leader, leadership has to be free. You have to think free, you have to talk free, because you're born as a free person.
Yes.
So nobody can take away your freedom, not even your passport. So don't worry about it. This is very, very important, seriously.
Good.
So thank you very much, and I hope to see you again, guys. If anyone wants any other thing, just come and ask me about it. And I hope to see you again. And thank you again to Tunzeki and to all the professors that gave us actually this honor to come here and to be with you today. Thank you very much.